Okay, let's rank my all-time favorite horror franchise. For those of you who do not know, or most of you probably do at this point, I am a giant and lifelong Halloween fan. I love Michael Myers. He's one of my favorite film characters of all time. And I finally, this month, decided to watch the remaining Halloween films that I had not seen in preparation for this video. So it's time for me to rank all 11 Halloween films. This is my ranking, first and foremost. This is just my opinion. So if you have a different ranking, let me know down below in the comments section what your ranking is and how you would rank this franchise. So let's kick this thing off with number 11. The absolute worst Halloween film of all time, without a doubt, number 11 is Halloween Resurrection. This movie sucks. This is a big giant stain in the Halloween franchise. They basically don't care about the continuity. They don't care about the character of Michael Myers because Busta Rhymes karate kicks him in this movie. It's a joke. Screw you, Busta Rhymes. Stay out of my freaking Halloween movies. This movie is so ridiculous. It's kind of like a found footage horror movie set in the Halloween universe. Why? Because it was like the popular thing, I guess, even though it really makes this movie look really dated and really poorly done. As well, they get rid of Laurie Strode in this movie. They kill her off. They bring her back. They kill her off. And it's one of the weirdest and most anticlimactic moments I've ever seen in a film, with Laurie Strode dying at the hands of her brother Michael Myers. Hate this movie. And I can't believe that they even thought about making more after this, especially with that ending. Yeah. Number 10 goes to another abomination, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It has its fans out there. I know they have some support with kind of like a cult following of this movie, but I hate this movie. This movie is not at all what I like to see in a Halloween film about Michael Myers. Now, I remember watching this movie years ago, and I thought it was pretty good, but I literally just got around to watching it again like last year for the first time in a long time because I bought it on Blu-ray in this double pack right here, which comes with both Halloween and Halloween 2. I bought it because I'm a big fan of Michael Myers and the franchise, although this film just absolutely sucks. It's very dark. They do go different routes, which I kind of enjoy, that they explore a little bit more into the lore of this amazing franchise. They do something different that they don't do essentially in the original Halloween 2. And so all of that I get, but I hate, absolutely hate, that you have to bring back your wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, and the symbolism of this white horse and all this just terrible garbage. Like, why does it have to be so confusing? Why does it have to be so stupid and ridiculous? And the first 15 minutes of the movie are phenomenal, but then after that, it just sucks, like I said. I also think that this is a really poorly written script. It's one of his better scripts, but I think it's still a poorly written script. Some of the moments are very cringy, especially when it comes to Laurie. I don't like how psycho and weird she becomes. My number 9 goes to Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Little known fact for those of you who have never seen this film, Paul Rudd is in this movie. That's right, Paul Rudd, who we love now as Ant-Man. He was in this movie. This was like one of his first performances, and I gotta say, he's not very good in this movie, nor is this movie any good, because the problem with this movie is that it's so convoluted, weird, and it goes in such different route than it should have, and it doesn't work at all. From an aesthetic, it looks appetizing. Like, the color palettes are actually really nice. They kind of do something different with the cinematography, but the story of this goes really off the rails from 4 and 5, even though none of them kind of coincide with one another, even though it's called the Thorn Trilogy. It's like really weird. Michael is apparently like a cult icon for some type of cult, and he also impregnates his niece, and he kills Jamie Lloyd, who I actually really liked as a character. It's really weird. I don't even know how to describe this movie anymore than just like, why a cult? My number 8 goes to Rob Zombie's Halloween. The first half of this movie is unwatchable. It has some of the worst dialogue and atrocious trash dialogue you'll ever see. No human being ever on the planet speaks like these characters do. And here's the thing. I get it. He's like trying to go for a white trash redneck approach. Look, my dad is a redneck, okay? But my dad has more class than any of these characters do. It's so fabricated. You could tell by every facet of the first half of this movie that Rob Zombie's really trying to push the boundaries with all the the language and the filth. And it's like, have you ever grown up in that society? Have you ever seen people that are actual rednecks? Because this is an abomination to what those people actually live for and how they present themselves. The first half is unwatchable. It's Michael Myers' backstory. You'll never make me feel sympathetic. You'll never make me really want to root for Michael Myers when you show his backstory and how basically he had a trash life. That is why he turned to killing, which is completely not the way to go about telling Michael Myers' story, because Michael Myers is pure evil. He's pure evil. And there was nothing. There was no horrible family setting. There was no horrible family dynamic. He just snapped one day. And that's what makes him so interesting in the original Halloween. The second half of this movie, I actually kind of dig when it goes into the remake aspects of John Carpenter's classic. It's never going to be as good, but I do like the grittiness. I do like how dark this movie can get in that second half. But the first half is so unwatchable that every single time I put this movie in, I almost just need to skip it completely because it's just so not worth it. My number 7 goes to Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. This movie's weird for me. I like this movie, actually. I think it's a little dry. This movie can get really boring. And one of the reasons is because the movie just kind of seems like it's wandering aimlessly, almost. That's not the fault of the movie, but it's really just them trying to do something with these characters. And one thing I don't like about this movie, though, is not only is it dry, but also Rachel, who was in Halloween 4, who I loved, one of my favorite final girls, they kill her off within the first 10 minutes of this movie. And they give us Tina, one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen in a movie. This is like the character of Shelly in Friday the 13th Part 3. Just, she's so annoying. She's at the forefront. She never stops being just really too over the top. That really kind of weighs this movie down a little bit for me. But I do enjoy this movie a bit. I do like the fact that they kind of try to take a different approach than Halloween 4 at times, but also at the same time, I do love Halloween 4 because of what they do with the ending of that film, where this movie, they completely like negate that almost. Halloween 5 is just it's a very weird movie for me, but I do enjoy it for the most part because there are some really nice kills in this film. And also, I think Michael is pretty brutal in this movie. And I like when Michael is brutal because he's scary and he's a force to be reckoned with. Number 6 goes to Halloween H2O, 20 years later. This is the Scream Halloween movie. This is around the time Scream came out, and that was a big fad of shooting the movie a certain way or having a certain aesthetic or even kind of having that summer fun horror film. And here's the problem. The movie's called Halloween. This movie looks like it was shot in July. It's so hot. That's what this movie looks like. It looks like it was hot filming this film. Whereas like the other Halloween movies, they have that Halloween atmosphere that I love so much, that autumn atmosphere, whether it be the leaves are orange, whether it be the air is kind of cool and a little musty. Like, that's what I love about the Halloween franchise, and this movie doesn't do that at all. I also don't like the interpretation of Michael Myers in this film. He looks like a wimp. The mask is really wonky, which, I mean, the mask really kind of gets all over the place in all of these films, so I haven't really talked a lot about the mask because, believe me, the mask can get really, really bad. Halloween H2O, I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. I do like moments of this film because I do think that this movie kind of hits certain boundaries that the other films didn't explore before. I like the fact that we're kind of having that Michael Laurie story once again. It negates 4, 5, and 6 because I get it. 4, 5, and 6 are just kind of the ugly stepbrother of the franchise or ugly stepson of the franchise. And it's just focusing on Michael and Laurie and basically what happens afterwards. I wish that the ending of this film stayed that way and that we didn't get Halloween Resurrection that completely negated that amazing ending that we had that was actually emotional and actually moving in Halloween H2O. My number 5, this might be a shock, goes to Halloween 2018. I like Halloween 2018. I've talked about it ad nauseum on this channel. I really don't want to go into more details. You guys know my issues with it. I think the movie has some really great tension, really great suspense, has some amazing, amazing kills, and it's directed really well. But the jokes, the over-reliance of comedy in this film just absolutely kills every single bit of tension that you feel throughout the movie. And it really takes me out of the film. Every time I watch it, I like it less and less because of that comedy. They could have done something so amazing if they would have just taken that comedy, sprinkled in there, not just oversaturate this film with comedy when it's like, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the mold. You wanted that comedy relief to kind of relieve the tension, relieve the heightened suspense, but we never get to that high plateau that high moment in this film where the suspense and tension are at an all-time high because of that comedy. And that's the unfortunate thing. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Halloween 2018. If you guys want to hear more of my thoughts on Halloween 2018, I have a bunch of other videos on this channel that you can go check out. My number 4 goes to Halloween 3, Spirit of the Witch. This movie's different. This is not a Michael Myers story. They tried making an anthology series based on the Halloween season, and John Carpenter and Deborah Hill actually came back to produce this movie. It was directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who does a great job, by the way. I will say this, I really enjoy this film. This is one that I hadn't watched before until last night, preparing for this video, and I really, really like it. The movie, it's slow, but the slow build-up actually works because they actually have some really nice tension. They have some really good suspense, and I actually really like the story. It's basically about this corporation that makes Halloween masks that want to kill all the children around the world, basically, that are wearing these masks. It's insane. It's insane. It's one of the coolest, unique, individual stories that I've seen set in the backdrop of Halloween. The atmosphere is still there from like a Halloween Michael Myers film, but it just doesn't have Michael Myers in it. He's in it, but it's only because they show certain scenes from Halloween, the original 1978 film. Annie's in this movie too. Nancy Kyes, I think is her name, or yeah, I think it's Nancy Kyes or Kays, I don't know. She's in this movie, which is really, really nice. There's some nice little Easter eggs that they sprinkle in there for people like me who are giant Halloween fans. And Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is really, really special. I actually really like it, and I definitely can't wait to watch it again at some point. My number 3 goes to Halloween 2. I've had a lot of issues with this movie in the past, and I've even made a video about why Halloween 2 doesn't feel like a real sequel to the original Halloween, and I still stand by that, but I do think that this is a great movie. The problem that I have with this movie, though, is the inconsistency of the timeline. This is supposed to happen right after the events of Halloween 1978, like literally hours afterwards, and it doesn't feel like that. Michael's character is very different. In the first movie, he is more of a predator stalking his prey, and that's what I love about the film. Whereas this one, he just kills everybody in his path, and it doesn't fit. They upped the gore, they upped the violence, they upped everything about this movie, but the one thing they didn't up was that suspense, was that tension, which I really want in my Halloween films. And those are the only issues, though, that I have with the movie. Because other than that, like, the movie works really, really well. I love the hospital setting. I love that Laurie Strode is back and that she's really, again, having to fight off this monster that is just almost larger than life. You get the reveal that they're brother and sister. I've never really liked that. It's kind of a throwaway scene. But other than that, this is a movie that keeps you continually invested. It's a really good sequel. My number 2, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I've talked about this movie a lot also on my channel. I love this movie. The most underrated Halloween film in my opinion. Everyone talks about Halloween 2018. Everyone talks about the original Halloween 2. Everyone talks about Halloween H2O. But no one talks about Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. This is my favorite sequel in the entire franchise. I love this film. This is a movie that just has that atmosphere of Halloween that I love. Michael Myers is brutal in this film. Yes, his mask is a big distraction and a big problem, but I can get past that. This movie looks gorgeous. I think what they do with bringing this character of Rachel, who is such a great final girl, protecting Jamie, I really love it. I love it, and it's a movie that every single Halloween I revisit because I have such a blast with this film, and it's got some of the best moments and brutality that you'll ever see from Michael Myers. And number 1, obviously, you guys know me, Halloween, the original 1978 classic by John Carpenter. It's my favorite horror movie of all time. Anyway, guys, that is my list. What is yours? Let me know down below in the comment section of this video. Also, I want to announce something real quick. On Halloween night, I want to do a live watch along, or commentary as I like to call it, of the original Halloween from 1978. And I'm going to try to see if I can get maybe like a couple of guests. I haven't really reached out to people yet, but if you guys would be interested in me doing a live stream watching the original Halloween, let me know down below in the comments section. It would be a lot of fun. It would be on Halloween night, and I think we could all watch it together, honestly. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Also, consider hitting that subscribe button to be a part of this community as I continue to make content pretty much like a couple times a week. So you don't want to miss those videos, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Happy Halloween.